Hi. I don't usually show my face on this channel, so this is kind of a new experience for me. But hi, this is me, I guess. I've shown my face in a few videos here and there, but this is the first time I've ever talked to you guys at the camera in a video. So we'll see how this goes. It'll be a fun little experience for both of us. But I wanted to have kind of a reflection video over the last year as a content creator, because if you're watching this video the day it comes out, it will officially have been 1 year since I posted my first video on this channel, which is a wild marker to hit, if I'm being honest. I really didn't think I would still be posting videos a year from now, but it's been a fun journey. I'm not gonna lie. So I just want to I don't want this to be a long video, so I'm just gonna kind of get into what started me as content creation, and then just say a few words about my content and channel over the last year or so. So if you don't know, I started making content a long time ago. Actually, I started on a channel called Coflop with KG1, and that was kind of my first introduction into content creation as a journey. That was back right about at the time of COVID, so we could kind of just sit there and have a consistent schedule and stay at home to stream, and it was a lot of fun, genuinely. And I probably wouldn't be making content now without Coflop getting me over that first hump of teaching me kind of how streaming works and how making content kind of works. And I'm still learning, but I definitely would not be as knowledgeable as I am today without Coflop. So it's an amazing stepping stone, genuinely. And I use that content still in my videos. Like, you've probably seen it here and there if you've watched every video on this channel. So shout out to Coflop, that is dead but not gone. It's still in our hearts. But that is kind of what got me started into content creation, and then what started me on my journey to making my first video. I guess it's been a long time coming. I knew that I'd always wanted to kind of make content for myself, and Coflop was like a good starting point. And then once that kind of fell off, it was a few years of downtime to making content. But I knew that I wanted to make content for myself in some way, shape, or form, and I didn't quite know how I wanted to do it. So at the start of 2025, I made a goal for myself that year that I wanted to start making my content. It didn't matter what it was going to be. I just knew that I wanted to start making content in my way. So that's kind of how I started the Paper Mario video. And then that video took 6 months to make. There was a lot of learning involved. There was a lot of trial and error with that video. I won't go through the whole details because I do want to keep this brief and short. But basically, Paper Mario is what started my entire process for content creation, and that's the process that I use now. And it's just gotten more streamlined. It's just gotten better. And I love that video for getting me out the door to continuing to make videos. That video did well in my heart that I could keep making content. So that's the good thing that I'm going to say about the Paper Mario video. I guess that's how I kind of want to do this. I'm going to say one good thing about the video, and then I'm going to say a bad thing about the video, or something that I would have liked to have improved on, and we'll move on. So the thing that bothers me about the Paper Mario video, or the one thing that I would change, is I guess a little more input from me in that video. That video is pretty much just following the story to a T, and then I add a little bit here and there on my own take on the story. I wish I had added a little bit more of my own input in that video, but it's my first video, so I can't really like fault it for a lot of the flaws that I would nitpick now. And then the second video, the Liza P, or the narrative analysis on the records from Liza P. This is a blessing and a curse, but it is long. that is what I will always say when I talk about that video. Is it is long in terms of making it and in terms of length. I made a whole fully fledged movie, and I have no idea how I even did it because I was moving at the time. There was a lot going on in my life around that time. So that is the one thing that I would say I really nailed about that video is my work ethic. I proved to myself that I can do this, that I can make a video every 2 months, no matter how much effort it's going to take to get it out, because I was working every night on that video. The fact that I could make that video in 2 months while having so much other stuff going on, is a miracle. Genuinely a miracle that that video is out, and it's my personal favorite video that I've put out there, and I hope it gets some more love because I think the music of that game genuinely is underappreciated for Liza P. The one thing I would improve for the Liza P video is kind of having a more streamlined story arc, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, we get in, there's an intro, we do the narrative analysis of the records, we do our conclusion, we get out. And that's kind of what the point of the video was, so I can't really fault it, but I wish I had done a little bit more personal input to make it my own rather than just an analysis, if that makes sense. So just maybe a little bit more personalized is the better way to put that. And then the real story of Dark Souls. It was purposely left short after the Liza P video, but this is my first real jump into making my own video essay, I guess. The other two videos, I had content that I was analyzing specifically for the video. So the story in Liza P, the story in Paper Mario, and also the records in Liza P, and then this one is just analyzing Dark Souls like as a whole. So it was my first like real jump into my own personal take and opinions video. So it was kind of scary to put out there, especially when it was as short as it was at the time. It was only like a 3-page script or something like that, and I even sent it to a buddy and was like, is this good? Do I need to send more? And he was just like, no, I think you've said everything you need to say. So send it. And I did. And it's my best performing video to date. So I must have done something right. So that's really nice about the Dark Souls video. And again, the one thing that I really wanted to improve about the Dark Souls video is kind of going more in depth with it. I felt like I could have talked a little bit longer about what that means for you in that video, but I could have used a little bit more personalization, I guess. It's pretty short and sweet, and I probably could have added a little bit more here and there to really drive my point home. But for where I was at after the Liza P video, I knew I wanted to keep it short and sweet just for my own sake so that I didn't burn myself out editing. And so its fault is kind of my own, but at the same time, like with purpose, because I knew I just didn't want it to be that long. And then we have the Grief video. I really love the Grief video. I did a lot of research, and that's another script that I'd set out to make sure it was good for that video. And I'm really proud of that one. That's like the first video that I did so much research, did a lot of research on grief and what that means for everybody, and how we can improve, and it's all shown in the video. I think that's like my real first video essay video that I feel very, very fondly for, and I feel very, very proud of on that one. Yay for finding my stride on that video. I think that's the video that I kind of hit my stride a little bit, and I felt good about writing the script. I also really like the thumbnail for that video. This is kind of just a blank slate improvement, but I know thumbnails are a weak point for me. Seeing that thumbnail, I was really excited about it. I thought it looked really nice. I think the other ones, some of them you can kind of tell were thrown together in Photoshop in 20 minutes. And other ones I put a little bit more effort into, but it's just kind of a blank slate improvement. And this is the one thumbnail that I was like, no, I like this one. This is a good one. But for improvements, I don't know. This one's kind of tough to like have improvements for, because I was kind of in a rough headspace during that time anyways. Like I mentioned in the video, my grandma passed around the time that video went out, and I was doing all of the research on grief and everything like that. So I think it really worked out that it was something a little personal to me, but I think in the future trying to keep it a little less personal, or like hitting the nail on the head a little bit for my own thoughts and feelings, can kind of help me keep my mental straight. I wasn't in an amazing headspace at the time, and then doing all of the research it was doing this weird effect where it was helping and not helping at the same time, because I was seeing all of the research going, no, yeah, that tracks for grief. I get that, because I'm experiencing the same feelings. So having something a little less on the nose would be appreciated. And then beating the 2-week Minecraft phase. I always say that this was a low effort video, and I think I've said that a few times, or it feels low effort. And the reason for that is because I didn't feel like I put as much effort into this video as I could have, if that makes sense. After the grief video, I was just kind of scrolling through the list of video ideas that I have in my phone, and I purposely chose this one because I thought it would be the easiest video that I could make at that time. And it was a really easy video to put together. The script took a weekend, and then I think I put it out in like a week or something like that. I put it together. So it's not my best work, I can tell you that much. But that video got a video out in the 2-month deadline, and it's kept me on schedule still. So that is the one good thing I can say about it. But it really is a video. I don't think it's a bad video, but I don't think it's an amazing video either. It's just kind of a we did pull out all the stops for that video. I can tell you that much for sure. But it was in preparation. I knew it was low effort because it was in preparation for the next couple of videos, so I could have time to work on these next 2 videos, because I had some fun ideas that I wanted to do and I wanted to pull off, and I wanted to make sure that it worked. So Games Still in Our Hearts, I don't think that one came together as much as I wanted it to. You know, when you're talking about your favorite games, that not everybody has the same favorite games as you, so people don't know what you're talking about all the time. So that video just feels like I was talking about my gaming habits and my favorite games, and you guys got to just watch me talk about it, and that whoop-de-doo. But it paved the way for the video I think I'm most proud of, the Losing Sight of While You Play Games, the video that just came out this month. I'm so happy with how that video came out. I was working on that video in tandem with Games Still in Our Hearts, so it's about 4 months of work on that video to make sure it fit as a part 2, and also just conveyed all of the feelings that I had going into that video, and I think it came out really well. So I can't really fault Games Still in Our Hearts, because I think that one could have used a better overarching story, but it set up, I think, a really good overarching story in the second video. So it kind of feels like a filler episode going into then paying off for the final episode. So that's all of my channel videos that you can currently go watch right now. But I do make other content. So real quick, I do stream on Twitch as well, which has been kind of on a hiatus over the summer. I've had a very busy summer and I just haven't had the time to stream as much as I want to. So I want to try and stream at least once a year or not once a year. Oh my God. Once a week, just to kind of get back in the flow of things and have that content generation. I have a Sea Life TikTok, which has also been kind of dead. I want to post one TikTok a week on that as well. So you could start seeing more of me on other timelines and stuff like that. And then I also do host a Daily Isabelle TikTok channel. It's just called Daily Isabelle Clips, where you can kind of see my Smash clips over the years as an Isabelle main. So that's kind of exciting. And that's kind of all of my content that I've got going so far. So you're gonna see a whole lot more of me in the future, and I'm really excited to continue making content. You know, this video is for you as much as it is for me. This is just kind of my mile marker on my content journey, kind of like I said at the beginning, and I will probably be making these videos every year moving forward, just to keep myself honest and to reflect on what we've done throughout the year. So stay tuned. I've got a big one in the works coming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.